presented by Sprite. The 2K Sports pregame show.
Here in our NBA on 2K Sports studio, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal at your service. Moments away at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, it'll be the Indiana Pacers going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. You take a look at the Cavaliers. They're sitting at 500 over the last 10 games, kind of treading water. They'd really like to make a splash over the next few games. All right, big fella, I want some straight talk on the Indiana Pacers. And this is not based on numbers or stats or any of that stuff. It's just when you watch them play. Are they the best defensive team in the NBA?
I would have to say yes, and Ernie, numbers don't lie. They are the best on paper. They do everything well on the defensive end. However, there's still two problems I see with the Pacers. One, they can still falter in crunch time, and two, they do not have a lockdown perimeter guy.
That about wraps it up for now. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
The Cavaliers are out of Cleveland as they take on their Eastern Conference rival in tonight's contest. And as we start the weekend here on this Friday night, this is Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg welcoming you to NBA basketball on 2K Sports. And with the road trip approaching, the Pacers will play the final game of their homestand. These guys facing good ball clubs and will continue to over the upcoming stretch of games, even more critical to notch a win in this one.
Yeah, and they're in the middle of a tough stretch of games they've got coming up. I mean, they're excited about it, and it's going to serve as a real benchmark for them, finding out exactly where they stand in the league.
And that's something every team wants to know. You know, to get where they want to be, they're going to have to really beat the best teams in this league. So I know what they're thinking is, bring it on. Let's go.
Here's the starting group for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Thompson and Verija at the 4 and 5. Marion is out there with Irving, and it's LeBron at the small forward position.
Well, last season the fans in Indiana finally came back in bunches to support their hometown Pacers. They're in the top 10 in attendance, up from 25th in 2013.
The first one falls. Well, Clark, you look at the low attendance numbers for the Pacers in years past, from 2007 to 2012. They averaged the second worst in the league. I think that surprised a lot of people.
It really did. It surprised me and the rest of the organization as well. Yet that corresponds with the seasons that the Pacers actually dipped below 500, and there wasn't a lot of promise on the horizon. With the Pacers winning now, and from what I hear, the TV ratings are also over double. Actually, I know the TV ratings for that team have doubled up since 2012, so things are headed in the right direction now.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Verija dishes to LeBron. David West grabs the miss.
This guy's a good three-point shooter, but that was probably a little bit too far.
Yeah, not what I would call working to get the best shot either.
Stuckey kicks it to West. From 12 feet out. Basket is good. The assist from Stuckey.
Not enough defense there to throw him off his shot. Sometimes it takes more than one defender on him down low.
LeBron outside. And that one is hammered home.
You know, guys, I would call that methodical but explosive. You know, he waits for the opportunity and then boom, right to the rack.
Little over a minute 30 into this first quarter. Hibbert with the screen on Irving. It's Hibbert with the drive, and he drops it in from the low post. Hibbert's got his first bucket of the night. Cavaliers are gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Well, Doris, an interesting game. Moments ago, you had a chance to talk with head coach Frank Vogel. What do you have to say?
I asked him if there was an X factor in this game, a player they couldn't forget about, and he said it would have to be Tristan Thompson, the power forward out of Texas. He said Thompson is still developing from a skill standpoint, but his motor is really off the charts. You always have to find him and get a body on him when the shot goes up, because the guy never takes a play off. Guys, they've been forewarned. We'll see if they take it to heart.
All right, Doris. Now Irving. George Hill missing on the third.
Kyrie Irving, clearly a player who's dreamed of greatness from a very young age. Going back to the 4th grade, he wrote, "I'm going to the NBA," and he wrote it across the back wall of his closet. And while it was hidden behind his clothes, it certainly wasn't far from his head or his heart.
And Irving still wanted to write down goals. He used to write them in a notebook he still keeps. Now he'll write them down in his phone. All part of setting his sights high and dreaming big.
And for Irving, just like those words in the back of his closet stayed hidden, his great talent stayed hidden for a long time as well.
Yeah, it didn't really dominate until his senior year of high school, Kevin. Only 11 games he played at Duke. It might seem he was an overnight sensation in the NBA, but in truth, he spent a lifetime laying the foundation for his game.
Now, here is Hill. He picked up 18 points in their last win against Detroit.
Kevin, his passing is what blew me away. I mean, to see him orchestrate their offense so impeccably, that was a sight to behold.
Now, here is Irving. Following the shot by Roy Hibbert. Irving kicks to James. Marion setting the pick for LeBron. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. LeBron's got his second basket of the night. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, they won their last contest, that game against Los Angeles.
And I thought, guys, they were the beneficiary of what was some lackluster defense being played against them.
I agree with you. I mean, it was really shocking how many free runs to the hoop they got.
Well, some weak defensive coverage there, and I'm pretty sure they didn't plan on starting this game out like that, giving such easy access to the rim.
Now here's James. Really played well against the Clippers in his last outing. Irving can't hit.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
Looking at the Cavaliers over the last 10 and how they compare to the rest of the league, this is what we've got. First and lowest turnovers a game. Third in three-point shooting. And they also show up as a top 5 rebounding team.
And what's most impressive out of all those numbers, Clark, is the few turnovers that they commit. Because now all of a sudden you're executing, you're putting a lot of pressure on the defense because they know they're not going to force a lot of steals and get out in transition to find easy points.
And he's good on the second. Here's LeBron, averaging 32 points a game. Irving sets a screen for LeBron. And he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
Well, that's a solidly executed pick play. I mean, it paid dividends with that nice dunk.
Exactly the result they were looking for.
Yeah, it worked so well. I mean, he got set, did not shuffle his feet. Really well done there offensively.
And so it's Indiana with it, following the score by Cleveland. Hill passes to Stuckey. West with the ball, picked up by Thompson. They grab their own miss. Hibbert gets the bucket.
Perseverance paying off on the offensive boards, guys.
For Cleveland, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Outside Irving. Varejao setting the pick for LeBron. Sinks the triple. LeBron's got 9.
And at 4 or 5 now, a nice start. I mean, he looks ready to make an impact offensively. So far, so good.
Irving against Hill. Kicks it to Hibbert. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. The Pacers have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point. And the free throw no good, but they'll get the ball back here. And it's the Pacers with the ball. They trail by 1. West kicks to Stuckey. Just 5 to shoot. Top of the key. The shot is off. And Cleveland will come the other way. Last time they met in Cleveland.
Yeah, and in the end, it wasn't even close. I mean, they had points coming from all over the floor.
Boy, they were locked in and ready to roll. And offensively, they just had a rhythm that was impressive.
Now, here's Thompson. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Clippers. Verjao can't hit.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
West outside. Pass to Rudez. Passes it to Hill. Hibbert against Verjao. Second chance shot. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. You know, it's apparent there what a leader he is. Always communicating it and keeping everyone on the floor in sync.
Yeah, regardless of whether he's having an off night or not. And that's what makes him such a great leader. Just always trying to help his team any way he can.
And here's something else I love about him, guys. If one of his teammates is on the fringes of the game, maybe not as involved as he should be, then he takes it upon himself to get him involved.
Free throw drops from David West.
Well, you love what David West brings to the table. Offensively, he can shoot, he can post up, he can muscle you. But he can really help you win without the ball in his hands, too, by setting hard screens and crashing the offensive boards.
Luis Scola, he's checked in for Indiana. And Cleveland also making a change. Waiters is checked in. Now, here is Irving. Another guy who really kicked it up a notch for them in that Clippers game. And the dunk by LeBron.
Another lead change. How many of these are we going to have?
I don't know, Steve, but the momentum of this game has certainly swung like a pendulum.
Here's Hill. And the layup's good off the glass. Hill's got his first points of the game. Clark and Steve, 8 lead changes now, and we're still just in the first half.
You know, both teams showing a lot of resilience, I think. Coming back and coming back, back and forth, back and forth.
Reminds me of a song.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen a game with so many lead changes this early on. Both teams on fire right from the opening tips.
Pedal to the throttle, Steve, just like we like it.
So the Pacers called timeout, their first of the game. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And the thing I took away from that game was how dominant they were on the boards.
Well, it's impossible not to see that domination. Based on the numbers, it was really lopsided in the rebounding battle.
Mahimi's checked in for West. And a good time here to go over our 2K leaderboard and see which point guards have had the hottest hand at the free throw line over the last 10 games. Kyrie Irving is second.
They are as reliable at the free throw line as you're going to find in this league. And that's something we've come to expect from the point guard position.
Yeah, that is typically where we find a lot of the top foul shooters in the league, quite honestly. But that doesn't mean we should take these guys for granted now. I mean, they put in an enormous amount of work to get to that level.
Now, here is Hill. Right now averaging 15 points a game. Marion against Scola. Over to the left wing. Here's Stuckey. Banked in off the glass. Stuckey's got 9 points.
That's his third make in 4 attempts, guys, so quick start for the game.
Irving against Hill. Irving kicks to Waiters. From deep, James. Scola with the rebound.
He just couldn't shake loose. He had the defender draped all over him.
Irving against Stuckey. Feeds it to Hill. To the inside. And it's Mahimi finishing it off. Absolutely, Clark. No one in his airspace on that dunk.
Yeah, but come on, Kevin. The defense can't let that happen.
I hope they let it happen more. It's fun to watch that guy fly.
Just a gift, 2 points they gave up. That's awful.
Right there, Marion, by screening as well as he did, opened up space for the shooter.
For Indiana, they've gotten 8 of their 13 shots to find the bottom of the bucket. Mahimi dishes to Hill. And there's the feed to Stuckey. There's the screen. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Stuckey's got 11 points.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
Marion a screen on Hill. And Waiters kicks to LeBron. Cleveland moving it around. Fades away. Shot's good by Waiters. Waiters got his second basket of the night. So it's the Pacers now. Hill with it. Guarded now by Irving. Hill passes to Scola. Hill sets the screen for Scola. Here's Rudez, and there are the Pacers with another bucket.
Solid screen right there that freed him up for the jump shot.
The Cavaliers trail by 3. Marion, a screen on Hill. Irving dishes to Waiters. He kicks it to James. Back to Waiters. Misses from close range.
Boy, he really bungled that finish.
Stuckey passes to Hill. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. Hill's got his second basket.
He had his head on a swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
Now Irving, averaging 18 points a game. The drive by James goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Great assist that time by Kyrie Irving.
And some changes here for the Pacers. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Rudez. And it's Watson in for Hill. Then for the Cavaliers, it was Amundsen. He's checked in for Tristan Thompson. Jones comes in for Sean Marion. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Irving. Clark, if you were trying to craft in your imagination the ideal flawless basketball player, you'd have a hard time doing much better than LeBron James.
The 21st century version of the best video game player ever, and also happens to be the best real game player ever, too. I mean, one of them anyway. That's why Eric Spoelstra, the coach, called him 1 through 5, and that's a perfect way to describe LeBron James.
And they double up James. Now here's Jones. He's guarded closely. Shot clock at 6. Amundsen. And he makes good on the layup. Amundsen's got his first 2 points.
And for LeBron, has he reached his peak? He says he's still a relative newcomer to working down on the block, and that's one area he's continuing to improve. Developing moves and then counter moves against post defense.
Now here's Stuckey. He's got 11. Miles, that's good.
Well, they've settled into their offense very quickly here today.
Yeah, they're zoned in, making the most out of their possessions here.
Here's Dellavedova. And here is Waiters. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Clippers. Jones for 3. Rodney Stuckey pulls it in.
And for LeBron, you know, he said he didn't enjoy posting up earlier in his career, but as his command on the low block has improved, he's gotten more comfortable with it. And I think now it's something that he really relishes.
Here is Miles. He's coming off a 13-point game against Detroit. Here's Watson. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. And it's an 8-point Pacer lead.
Good defense, but you gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
6-second difference between shot and game clock. Dishes it to Waiters. Takes the 3. And he gets it to go. Waiters got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Watson with it. His last outing, he had 8 points. Pass to Stuckey. Stuckey right side. And the horn signals the end of the first. Not much offense so far. Indiana out in front, up by 5. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter.
Tune in next Sunday, February 8th. LaMarcus Aldridge and the Portland Trail Blazers take on Dwight Howard and the Houston Rockets. Do not miss it.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Pacers.
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
The other thing we've seen right from the start, guys, is their willingness to drive the lane, get penetration, and challenge this defense.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the court for Indiana. Down low, West and Hibbert. Watson out there with Rodney Stuckey. And it's Miles in at the 3, the small forward.
They're coming in bunches for LeBron right now.
Indiana leading by 3. The dish to Hibbert. Stuckey with it, and it's Waiters picking him up. They get it back, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers for Rodney Stuckey. How the last month of basketball was for him. He's putting up about 8 points per game, 3 assists and 3 rebounds. And when you take his overall contributions on the whole, he's been putting up some pretty good numbers, but I think he can do more.
And Steve, sometimes that's just part of the game, weathering periods where your stats might not show all of what you're doing on the floor. David West is a tough man's man at power forward, who also possesses a lot of guard skills. I mean, for a player his size, he's one of the best passers in the game. He can put it on the floor, and that jump shot of his from out to about 17, 18 feet is money. He's a laser from that distance and can occasionally splash that three-pointer on you, too.
And Indiana making a change here. Hill's checked in. A switch here also for Cleveland. Sean Marion is checked in for James. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, Paul George has stated plainly that he hopes to post up much more often. Last season, he was basically dead last among forwards, only posting up on 5% of his possessions. He's put on muscle and developed his back-to-the-basket footwork. He said, quote, I plan on being a lot more physical, seeking contact and finishing through it. That's my next step. He's trying to evolve, Kevin.
A good move considering his size and explosiveness, Doris. Thanks. Here is Watson following the score by Cleveland. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
And excellent interior defense there. Good rotations.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space.
Here's Dellavedova. Right now averaging 5 points a game. Amundsen inside. He's against Hibbert. They retain possession. And good on the basket. Book it. Dellavedova's got 4 this quarter. Indiana leading. Watson kicks it to West. Here is Miles, guarded by Marion. The pass to Hibbert. Tries it from 9, and the jumper is on the mark. Hibbert's got 6. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Dellavedova dishes to Waiters. They set the pick. Marion setting the pick for Waiters. The Pacers pull it in.
Yeah, no excuses there. Got a really good look at the basket after being freed up by the pick.
We say it all the time. The execution was excellent. The result not as good, but good ball movement anyway.
Deep 2 from Hill. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here. Let's bring up the 2K leaderboard. Show you the teams that have shot the lights out during the last month. The Cavaliers 5th.
Yeah, Kevin, it's been a long month for anybody who plays these guys. I mean, they've been shooting the lights out, and it's been game after game after game.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. 6 on the shot clock.
Well, his shot's been off today, no question. He's not the guy they're going to want to look to if they want to keep this lead where it is.
Marion outside. Dellavedova, the pass to Waiters. It's stolen by Hill. Now Miles, averaging 9 points per contest. Now here's Hibbert. He feeds it to Miles. He dishes it to Watson. Clock at 4. Takes it from 10, and it's blocked. But they get it back. West kicks to Miles. West a screen on Marion. Pass to Hibbert. West trying to free himself up. Nice D from Bergeron. The Cavaliers trail by 3. Here's Dellavedova. Waiters gets a wide open look. Hill pulls it in.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
The finish, and it's slammed in by Bergeron.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
And the Pacers call time here.
George Hill, an efficient combo guard. He was acquired by the Pacers in a draft day deal back in 2011. That was the Kawhi Leonard trade, with Leonard, of course, going to the Spurs. It's a trade that benefited both sides.
Rudez checked in for Indiana. And then for Cleveland, Thompson comes in for Louis Amundsen. And Kyrie Irving subbed in for Matthew Dellavedova. Watson kicks to Hill. Hibbert with a screen on Waiters. Passes it to Watson. Now Miles. Kicks it to Watson. For 3. And he gets it to go. Watson's got 5. And I know, Clark, that you know Hill well. George, an Indianapolis native, played collegiately at nearby IUPUI.
And Kevin, going now in his 4th season with the Pacers, exactly the kind of support starter you want as a contending team. He's rock solid, really defends his position well, is steady. I'd like to see him be more aggressive in looking for his own offense.
The Pacers shooting an outstanding 53% for the game. Watson dishes to Hibbert. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's going to go on Tristan Thompson.
Roy Hibbert, really an all-around contributor at the center position. An elite rim protector. He can pass, post up, and even knock a shot down from the high post. He really does a lot of things to help you win.
And Hibbert with the nice soft touch on that hook shot. With his height, you're not going to block that one.
You're exactly right, Kevin. He's got a really nice touch. One of the better free throw shooters among big men in the league as well. Roy Hibbert, the big dog, number 55 for the Pacers, is 7'2", and is a little too big for king-size beds. Every time the Pacers go on the road, he has to take along a special inflatable mattress that he likes to sleep on. It's one of the downsides to living large.
Now, here is Irving. Waiters gets a wide-open look that doesn't go on the chance to tie.
Kind of rare to see him come up empty on a wide-open look.
And here's Watson. Clock at 6. Hibbert, the pass to Watson. Hibbert with the screen. Jumper off the screen. Not enough on that one as it misses. And Hibbert's father stands 6'2", and Steve, his mother, is 6'1". But Roy obviously towers over both of them.
Well, he towers over everybody, Kevin. I mean, you know, you look at the family roots. His parents came from the Caribbean. And Roy actually played one game for the Jamaican national team back in 2010. And unfortunately, that actually may rule him out of playing for Team USA. So a very interesting sort of international background there.
The Cavaliers shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game.
Well, this is a club that has hit about 80% of its free throws during the season. Very impressive number.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
Mahinmi's checked in for Indiana. Scola comes in for Hill. Here is Miles. Puts up the baby hook. And Scola puts it in.
You know, that putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out. That's the result you get right there.
Now, here is Irving. Waiters gets a wide open look. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. 9 points for Dion Waiters.
Very effective screen to set up the jumper. That was the key to that play.
And Miles kicks to Mahinmi. Here is Watson, covered by Irving. And Mahinmi has it in the corner. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Mahinmi's got his second bucket tonight. So it's the Cavaliers now. 4-point game. They'll face the Lakers after this one. That'll be at home. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Irving dishes to Waiters. Feeds it to Varejao. Irving kicks to Thompson. Here's Varejao. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
So a moment to see the story on Tristan Thompson. Some good work from him over the last 10 games. 8th in blocks. And, of course, he's in the top 15 in rebounding, so a very strong presence in the paint.
You know, Steve, he's doing what very few players in the league are really capable of, and that's impacting games through his low-post defensive presence. And he's one of the best shot blockers in the game in terms of his ranking, so no surprise.
Anderson Varejao, a quality defensive center. Great rebounder, moves his feet well, anticipates, plays with a ton of energy, and he's one of those irritants. He gets under a lot of guys' skin.
And Varejao coming in to the league primarily as a defensive energy guy, but he's expanded his offensive skill set and has made great improvement as a passer. From his rookie season to now, he's more than doubled his rate of assists.
Watson's shot is off.
Boy, the pick, and with that weak screen, I use that term loosely, he had nothing to spring him open. It was ineffective.
Well, he wasn't phased at all by the bigger man on him, and on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
So here's Scola. Dion Waiters making his last shot. Scola passes to Miles. Scola, a screen on Waiters. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen. Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. Take a look at the Cavaliers. They're holding on to second spot in the conference. A great season for them so far. And, of course, the Indiana Pacers. They're 5 spots away.
Seeing where the Pacers are, you know, they've had a down year so far by their standards. I'm sure this wasn't where they pictured themselves being in the standings right now.
Well, they didn't picture themselves there, and neither did I, Clark. I mean, I think most people, in fact, thought that this would be an elite team. Like they were a year ago, but look out!
Watch out below! Wow!
It has been nip and tuck through the first half.
No kidding. I mean, neither team has been able to hold the lead for any length of time, guys.
Steve, so close.
Well, such a seesaw affair, back and forth. I mean, this has been an unbelievable game to watch.
Here is Mahinmi. He's guarded by Varejao. Clock at 6. Watson with it. 5 points in the game. Indiana again missing.
Looked like an easy 2 points right there.
You know he's kicking himself for that miss.
Thompson sets the pick for Mary. Waiters on the wing. Bangs home the trifecta. Waiters got 7 points here in this quarter.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Watson kicks to Scola. Again, the miss by Scola. And here's Cleveland. They're on a 13-5 run here. Varejao setting the pick for Irving. Goes back up. Here's Thompson. The feed to Waiters. And stolen by Scola. To the middle. Here's Miles. It's good, and Watson picking up the assist. Miles has got 5 points so far.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half, Clark.
Waiters dishes to Marion. Irving for 3. Another miss by Irving. Indiana trailing here. Miles the pass to Watson. There's a minute 47 left in the first half of the game. 5 on the clock. Shoots from 12. And again, it's Indiana converting.
Risky shot there. Size-wise, I mean, he easily comes out on the short end of the stick, so to speak.
With the nice high release, he had no problem getting it off and knocking it down.
Irving kicks to Waiters. Dishes it to Thompson. And he jams it with authority. There it is, guys. That Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
Here's Mahinmi. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Mahinmi's got it all tied up now for the Pacers.
Gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
Outside Irving. Marion setting the pick for Waiters. Varejao trying to free himself up. Waiters no luck.
You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
There's the pick. Scola left side. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Watson for three. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Varejao's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
The poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting percentage nowhere near where he'd like it to be.
Rudez passes to Watson. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
So the clock runs out with the score tied going into halftime. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
All right, Kevin, here with Coach Frank Vogel. And, Coach, things were going your way early in this ball game, but you let them climb back in it. What broke down?
Well, we started the game exhibiting championship-level passes, which is what we're preaching. We got a lot of good looks, got an early lead. We didn't pay attention to their strength. That's how they got back in the game.
Coach, thank you for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. And, folks, don't go away after the break. We'll see you right back here for the start of the second half in the third quarter. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. far. What can you say? LeBron James, what an impressive effort today.
Yeah, he put on a highlight reel in that first half alone. Just a collection of spectacular dunks.
It was a fireworks display. He nearly tore the hoop down with a couple of those slams multiple times.
And so it's Cleveland with it. On the court for Cleveland, Thompson and Verija at the 4 and 5. Marion is out there with Kyrie Irving. And it's James in at the 3.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break gave him a second win. He looks fresh.
The Pacers shooting it pretty well, close to 50%. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burton. Doris, what do you have?
Well, guys, the Cavs' David Blatt, the first ever NBA head coach directly hired from the international ranks. Though he grew up near Boston, a die-hard Celtics fan, he represents all the aspiring NBA coaches from abroad, saying, quote, I feel a great sense of responsibility. I feel like I've got to do a good job. Kevin, he's certainly got the personnel to do it.
A roster loaded with talent, Doris. Indeed. Thank you. Irving kicks to Marion. Pass to Thompson. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. Thompson's got 6.
And with the defense playing that well, the double clutch was the only way he was going to get that ball off.
Hill kicks it to West. Stuckey outside. There's the dish to Hill. Just 5 on the clock. Baseline jumper. And a rebound goes to the Cavaliers. Thompson's got 7 rebounds in the game.
Tristan Thompson, very quick and athletic. In fact, in the course of the game, it's amazing just his movement around the court. He flies to the ball, covers a lot of ground. And for a big man, I mean, that's a really valuable asset to have.
The kick out to Hill. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And for Thompson, you talk about his mobility, his energy, his activity. That's a big part of what makes him such a special rebounder.
Yeah, and again, you take a look at the new technology. It's called camera tracking, and every NBA arena has it. Last season, not quite in the top 20 in rebounds, but he was 7th in rebound chances per game. So that tells you he's actually making the effort to get to the glass.
Well, Steve, George Hill starting at point guard, maybe more of a combo guard than a true point. What do you think?
Well, yeah, no question he's a combo. Career average of only about 3 assists, so he's not a classic point guard. And a lot of people have argued that the Pacers need more of a playmaker, but I like what Hill brings to the table. Defensive-minded, smart, team guy, good shooter. So he's an important player for this club.
Shots good from Rudell. And not even 3/4 out of the way. So many lead changes.
One heck of a game. I mean, guys, this has been outstanding in terms of the effort that both sides have been able to put on.
Looking over there at Steve. He's enjoying every second of the part.
Yeah, me too. Man, this has been great, guys. And the fans getting their money's worth here. Both teams just playing so hard out there.
And it's Irving missing.
Well, you talk about Hill defensively now. 6'3", athletic, long arms, extremely smart, knows how to avoid being screened, never gives up on plays. And, from his time with the Spurs and now Coach Vogel in Indy, he has the outstanding technique to complement those physical tools, and that makes him one of the best defenders at his position.
LeBron dishes to Marion. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. Marion's got his second basket of the night.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spots. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
Timeout called the Pacers.
And the other thing I like about George Hill, an excellent caretaker of the ball. He may not create a ton of assists, but he gets them into their offense and really values the possession.
Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Sean Marion. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Frank Vogel had to say to his teams. He was focused on their post play and was pleading with them to try to get the ball into the low post every trip down. He said also that their offense needs to be a patient one. He told them, don't rush things. Use as much of that shot clock as you need to. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Cav, it'll be interesting.
Thanks again, Doris. James, the pass to Irving. Verja with a screen on Hibbert. Irving, good.
Well, their plan of attack has been pretty clear to see. I mean, get the ball inside and just take it strong to the hoop. Be dominant in the lane.
Well, the defense has been very slow to adjust. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
West a screen on Irving. The drive by Hill. West with a wide open look. Hits the target from 18 feet. West has got 8.
Very clever passing. That was just beautifully done.
Cavaliers leading. Outside Irving. He kicks it to Dellavedova. Thompson right side. Lets it fly from 18. That one wide left.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
Outside Hill. West setting the pick for Hill. The pass to West. Fires the 3, and it's Hill. That time the assist from David West. 8 points for Hill.
You know, neither team has really been able to get the edge.
Yeah, this has been a tight one here. A nail-biter just going back and forth right now.
Irving kicks to LeBron. Pick by Verja. Oh, tried to dunk it home, but drew the foul, and it'll go to the line. It's going to be on David West.
Well, LeBron said last season that he just couldn't see leaving the Heat. But I guess he came around. The championship foundation in Miami, but some cracks started to show, and now he's back in Cleveland.
And for LeBron, Clark, you think from a competitive standpoint it might have made sense for him to leave Miami?
I don't know if it was driven by competitive reasons. Quite honestly, I mean, with the new luxury tax, it had gotten harder for the Heat to add talent to that superstar core. And on the Cavs side, LeBron can command the max and play with some younger up-and-coming players who are a relative bargain on their rookie contracts. But I think it went deeper than that. I think it really was about the pull of Northeastern Ohio being stronger than any other consideration for him and his family.
Here's Hill, rejected by Irving. On the wing, James. From deep. And that's good. Kyrie Irving for 3. Irving's got 5 points now this quarter.
Seems like guarding him on the perimeter is not a priority for this defense. But it will become one if he continues to knock them down.
Stuckey up top. West setting the pick for Stuckey. West at the elbow. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. West has got the game tied up here for the Pacers. Cavaliers have gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. James dishes to Irving. Verja with a screen on Hill. Irving loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Irving's got 11 points.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball. Just having their way down low.
Hibbert hits the bucket. Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Outside Irving. He feeds it to Thompson. It's rebounded by West. West has got 7 rebounds in the game. Rudez passes to Hill. Here's Rudez, covered by LeBron. Stuckey lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Stuckey's got 4 points in the quarter.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Outside Irving. LeBron outside. He dishes it to Bergeron. And he banks in the layup. Bergeron's got 6 points.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
Yeah, that was your game, Clark. Pound it inside and take the ball right to the defense.
That's what I tried to do, man. I knew my limitations.
You're going to be waiting a long time if you're waiting for him to miss that when he's that open.
Thompson sets the pick for Irving. Dellavedova kicks to James.
Oh, man, what a play. Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
Yeah, and I like that. I mean, some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in, but I say put as much as you can on the finish and get your teammates going.
Here's Dellavedova, and it's off from three-point range. The Pacers have gone 8 of 14 on their shot attempts here in the third. Some pretty nice work. Hill with it. Guarded now by Irving. West a screen on Irving, and there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
You know, sometimes the intensity of the game can lead to brain-neutral plays like that, guys.
Both teams will make substitutions. Cleveland's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight, 5 of 12. Pass to LeBron. On baseline, Jay. Rebound by Mahinmi. Mahimi's got his third rebound on the night. Here is Watson. He has 7. Stuckey, a screen on Irving. Screen by Scola. Just 5 on the clock. Watson dishes to Mahinmi, and he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
Well, he should stay with those basics in a tight ball game because we've got one here tonight.
Now Watson, averaging 8 points a game. Passes it to Stuckey. Kicks to Watson. Back to Stuckey. Fires from deep. It's hauled in by LeBron.
The clear look at the hoop. He doesn't miss many of those.
Feeds it to Thompson. It's rebounded by Stuckey.
Good, tough defense there. Getting a hand up, forcing that miss.
Well, he's got the reputation of being a tough defender, and there was an example right there for him.
The feed to Mahinmi. And here's Watson. With the teardrop, he goes up again, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
A good night so far for Mahinmi. He has 8 points, and they've got to be happy with his work on the glass, too.
Oh, they have to be. I mean, he's not giving up any ground in the paint, and when the ball goes up, I mean, it's his.
And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for the Pacers.
You know, something that stood out to me all game long has been the skill they've shown in the low post. I mean, it's special.
And then look at the points in the paint because they're really winning that battle tonight.
The Pacers making a switch here. Hill's checked in. The drive by LeBron. And there's the rejection. Watson with it. He's picked up by LeBron. Watson kicks to Scola. There's a good screen. Stuckey passes to Watson. Shoots from the baseline. Here's Mahinmi. Makes it off the glass. Mahimi's got 5 points now in the quarter.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. And that's a good strategy when you're on top.
Marion setting the pick for LeBron. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. LeBron's got 24.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Screen by Scola. Watson dishes to Scola. It's Watson atop the key. Stuckey outside. On the top of the key. Offensive rebound. Mahinmi kicks to Stuckey. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Dishes to Watson. Pass to Mahinmi. Puts up the baby hook. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. The Pacers making a change here. So here's Scola. Stuckey drives inside. Stuckey with another miss.
Well, the shot was there for him, and he had to take it. I don't care if he didn't convert. He's got to take that every time.
3 quarters of play in a close game here. Pacers lead by 3. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the 4th quarter.
Coming up next Wednesday night, February 11th, Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat take on LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Live from Cleveland. Be there.
Pacers leading by 3. We've got Rodney Stuckey. Scola out there with Mahinmi. Then it's Watson, and it's Rudez in at the 3. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Six to shoot. The offensive rebound. Cleveland's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. James, the pass to Dellavedova. Back to LeBron. Marion setting the...
Oh! Are you kidding me? That was a power punch right there.
Oh, great.
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Still, I mean, startling that he'd even try that right now.
Watson dishes to Mahinmi. The baseline J. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Difficult shot from mid-range, and the defense was all over him.
Boy, I like the close out there, Steve. Well done.
Indiana's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Watson kicks to Scola. Elbow shot. It's good, and Watson picking up the assist. Watson's got 4 assists in the game. A few possessions into the 4th quarter, just over a minute played. LeBron outside. Raiders on the wing. And he hits it to tie the game up.
That's demoralizing. They needed to stop there, and instead they give up 3 points on an open look.
Watson with it. A little over a minute and a half of the 4th quarter gone now. Here's Scola. Blocked. Now here's Waiters. Now the dish to Dellavedova to take the lead. Hit his leg. And the ref saying he kicked it. And some changes here for the Pacers. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Mahinmi. West comes in for Luis Scola. And George Hills subbed in for C.J. Watson. Irving's checked in for Cleveland. And we're around 2 minutes into the 4th quarter here. He kicks it to Waiters. The pass to James. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
What a game for LeBron. He's got 26 points, and the assist numbers tremendous.
His court vision, Clark, has been phenomenal. I mean, he could not be passing the ball any better than he is right now.
Shooting for Cleveland, LeBron James, taking 2 shots.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
Boy, it seems like they're having a lot of trouble at the line today, and it's just been that kind of a day.
Both free throws good from James. And here are the Pacers now. Outside Hill. Here's Hibbert. Nice D from Bergeron.
You have to get a hand into his face because that's his range right there.
Marion, a screen on Hill. Irving kicks to Waiters. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Pretty bad defense letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know what's going to happen, and they sent a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
That one is no good. Pacers trail by 3. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Here's Rudez, guarded by Marion. Shot clock at 5. The drive by Hill, but he stays with it. On the wing, Irving. And Waiters with the bucket on the assist by Irving. And that's 19 points for Dion Waiters. Indiana's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Hill kicks it to West. It's back to Hill. West setting the pick for Hill. They need this. West with a wide open look. Kept alive by Indiana. And it's Hibbert missing.
He has not been on his game. And, their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not helped the situation.
Outside Irving. They set the pick. Bergeron with a screen on Stuckey. And he gets it to go. And now a 7-point Cleveland lead.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Timeout called the Pacers.
Boy, some would like to give Kyrie Irving the injury-prone label. I'm not sure if that's fair. Although in his first 3 seasons, he has yet to stay healthy start to finish.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Kevin, I was able to hear the advice Frank Vogel gave to his team during that last break. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said, they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
James outside. Back to Waiters. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. James has got his 6th assist on the night. And for Kyrie, he can play all 82, Steve, and put this all to rest. But when he goes to the IR as much as he has, it's a fair question to pose.
Well, that's what he's got to do, Kevin. He's got to put together a season or two where he plays, 75, 80, 82 games. Nothing else will put that label to rest, and it's just a matter of being able to do it. Some of it is luck, and some of it is maybe developing a more sound routine to help his body get through the year.
You look at what Hill has done so far. He has 11 points and 5 assists. He's been their leader, stirring the drink at the offensive end and then anchoring the defense.
Well, it's a good example, Clark, of how you set the table for the rest of your teammates. He's really brought focus and energy to this game. Shaky defense down low again. It's been a mismatch in the paint.
I'm sure they didn't go into this one expecting to get battered like they have inside.
Hibbert kicks to Stuckey. Stuckey right side. Pass to Rudez. He feeds it to Hibbert. Again, Indiana. Cleveland leading by 4. Outside Irving. He dishes it to Waiters. LeBron James on the wing. Back to Waiters. It's rebounded by Indiana. They'll be off to Charlotte for a game against the Hornets. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Well, it seems like he's gotten a little loose with it since halftime. His fingers may be a little slick or slippery. He went from no turnovers in the first half to quite a few here in the second.
Thompson, he's checked in for Sean Marion. Berejao passes to Irving. A stupendous finish in traffic. Irving's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, since we hit half number 2, he's finally come around. The first half was not his best, obviously.
Outside Hill. Hibbert with a screen on Irving. Here's Rudez. No good with the triple. Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. LeBron kicks to Irving, and that one's good.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Pacers trail by 8. Now Hill. Stuckey, a screen on Irving. West setting the pick for Hill. High post try. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. Cleveland's gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight. Just a little over 40%. Berejao setting the pick for Irving. LeBron James on the wing. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. LeBron's got the lead up to 8 now for the Cavs.
And he came off that screen. The defense just couldn't get over the top. Beautiful play.
Yep, and without a hand in his face, he's going to bury those.
Hibbert with a screen on Thompson. Stuckey drives inside. Cavaliers with the rebound. Thompson's got rebound number 12 now. Tenacity on the glass. And here's Irving. Back to James. Passes to Waiters. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Pacers trail by 8. Pass to Rudez. Outside Hill. Kicks to Stuckey. Shot clock at 6. Fires from 14. Stuckey with another miss.
He can't get anything to drop. And the way he's scoring, I'm not sure it's something he should try to shoot his way out of.
No, that might only serve to make things worse, Steve. Sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets.
Irving dishes to Berejao. Back to Irving. Kicks it out to James. Cleveland moving the ball around. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Cavaliers will retain possession.
Boy, that pass was in the air a long time.
It's long enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
Sean Marion is checked in for Cleveland. On its way from Irving for 2. Rodney Stuckey pulls it in. Indiana trailing here. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going.
Well, at least the defender got his money's worth on that one.
Yep, that was an easy whistle for the official.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Cleveland.
And their mid-range shooting continues to be accurate.
Something that also stands out tonight is the number of assists they have. I mean, that's a mark of a good club.
Irving passes to LeBron. Feeds to Berejao. 6 on the shot clock. And Thompson kicks to Irving. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here. LeBron, no luck.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just 1 in the first.
Left side West. The baseline J. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. The Cavaliers leading by 4. Berejao with a screen on Hill. Irving. And he banks in the layup. Irving's got 15 points in just the second half.
Boy, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
Timeout called the Pacers.
You know, he just isn't pleased at all with the looks they've given up defensively inside. So I think this timeout is all about trying to get his group to tighten up defensively.
They just don't look very sharp to me on the defensive side.
Hill dishes to West. Goes up on the wing. Hits the front of the rim and out. Cleveland's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. On the wing, Irving. Trying to find Thompson. He gets it to him. LeBron passes to Thompson. Clock at 4. Shoots from 8. Good, and the assist goes to James. LeBron's got his 8th assist here tonight.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
Yep, that's something that the defense has to put a stop to. Maybe a defensive adjustment is necessary here.
West against Thompson. West setting the pick for Stuckey. Baseline J on the way, and then Hill with the dunk.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
The Cavaliers leading by 6. Irving kicks to LeBron. Marion outside. Three-pointer. And it's Kyrie Irving with the 3. Irving's got 11 points in the quarter.
The more touches he gets, the more this lead will grow. He has just been unconscious this quarter.
And the Pacers call time here. They're down by 9. 1:14 left in the fourth quarter of this one. .114 left in the game. Hill kicks it to West. Fades back. Shot's good. Here's Irving. Marion, a screen on Hill. Irving. Pacers with the rebound.
Really quite surprising to see the huge edge they have in rebounds given what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, it's not typical. I mean, they have been really dominant on the glass.
I can't figure out, guys, what's going on with him this quarter. I mean, he hasn't gotten one shot to drop.
The feed to Marion. He's looking for LeBron and finds him. Back to Marion. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
And tack on a few more points to the lead. Why not? I suppose this is an emphatic showing for this club.
And, Steve, they did it in style. A beat down the entire way.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. They're losing by 9. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. And then for Cleveland, it was Amundsen who's checked in for Bergeron. James Jones comes in for LeBron. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Irving. Watson dishes to Mahinmi. Can't get it to go. Here's Dellavedova. So we see the Cavaliers get the win here. Both teams played well, but these guys had the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just steak knife sharp. Very on top of their game here.
Well said. And so now we'll go down to Doris Burke, who's standing by live with our Jordan Player of the Game. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Well, LeBron, after a first half that looked like it could go either way, what was the difference maker down the stretch in this game?
Well, defensively, we stepped up. That's what it's all about with our team. We know if we get stops, we get a better opportunity to get a win and execute offensively.
LeBron, thank you. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that. And now for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan saying see you next time as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.